if you're a videographer and you're looking for ways to expand your service offerings, I'm going to show you an affordable way to offer live streaming services to your clients. We are here inside of Hatch 1121. It's a facility that the Lake Worth Beach CRA uses, and I've been working with them for many years now, and live streaming is just one thing that I offer to them. I've gotten a few comments on a few different videos about this setup and a technical breakdown of what everything is. Let's start over here because this is the most asked about item, the most requested piece that we get questions on, and this is an MEA Entertainment. MEA Entertainment is the company. Livebox is what the actual product is. I've seen people make these and kind of it looks a little rugged and ragged, but this is really professional and clean looking, which is probably why we get questions on it a lot. But if you check this out here, right, this is just the A10 Mini Pro ISO, and then it gives you the inputs on the back, right? So you have your power, Ethernet, USB-C, and then all your HDMI, and then your mics in and out as well. So I'll show you the cameras in a second, but if you see here, we have camera 1, which is getting the podium. If there's crowd participation or people speaking, we're gonna be able to hear that. And then we have camera 2, which is a wide shot of the board. There's gonna be 8 people sitting at that table. And then I also have a graphic here that if you just hit still, it'll pull up the graphic, right? So that says board meeting will start shortly. We'll put that up and then we'll start the stream, make sure everything is working, make sure we have audio, make sure we have picture, and then once the actual meeting starts, boom, we can just switch right to the cameras. So it's an A10 Mini Pro ISO inside a live MEA Entertainment box with just a simple 1080p screen here, all right? There's nothing super fancy about this screen, although it is a lot easier to run a stream when you have a screen that is showing your cameras and everything, so that way you know what you're seeing before you switch to it, right? If we just had this inside of OBS without the screen, we wouldn't really know exactly what we're switching to. Next is our audio interface. There definitely is a better way to do this, right? Don't chirp me in the comments, right? We're just figuring it out as we go. This does work, but there is a better way to do it. Okay, this is a Zoom H8, and then we have a capsule on top that gives us 2 extra XLR inputs. We needed 8 microphone inputs for this specific job. This is a job that I do once every, I would say, 2 to 3 months, right? So this piece is about $400, right? So there are very few options at this price point that allow you to get that many XLR inputs. So all the XLRs are going, well, I'll show you up there, but they're going into a snake, and then they're coming here into the Zoom. We can control the level of each microphone into the Zoom, and then the Zoom is connecting to the MacBook with this cable here to USB-C, right? And I don't have it up right now, but OBS is what I'm going to be running the stream through. And if you've never used this program, I definitely recommend learning it. It is free, and these can be a little quirky, so usually I'll just delete everything, right? I'll start a new scene. We'll go to video capture, and this is going to be our Blackmagic design. We select that, boom, now we have our image, and if we switch back and forth, we're gonna see our different cameras. Then we'll add our audio source, audio input capture, which will be the Zoom. We hit Zoom, boom, Zoom H8 audio driver, our computer's picking that up. So now we have audio coming in through the Zoom, and that is good to go. And also this is connected to the MacBook with just a simple USB-C cable. Obviously our internet's hardwired. That's a very important piece to the puzzle. If you're gonna run a live stream, you wanna have hardwired Ethernet, just so that way you don't lose signal or you don't drop signal. The back of the box, USB-C going to the computer, and then our 2 HDMIs going out to the cameras. The Zoom and the board don't need to talk to each other because the Zoom is going right into the camera, or right into the computer, right into OBS. So this is our wide array of baggage and luggage that we have for this job, but sometimes there can be a little bit of a crowd here, so we want to make sure that the crowd can hear what everyone in the board is saying. So again, this is not the most ideal for this situation, but I had a large floor monitor from an electronic drum set brought into this job, and we just run an 1/8 inch cable line in or line out from the Zoom to line into this monitor, and this just projects the microphones out. You should probably use once you get well established, like a PA system or something where you can equalize the sound, but this works. I had this laying around, right? The whole point of this is to just, if you were a videographer, right, and you have cameras and tripods and all this stuff, there are only, everyone has a computer, right? If you're a videographer and editor, right, everyone has the cameras and tripods. So really the only thing that you need is your audio interface and then a little switcher, which you can get for like $500-600, and then you can offer live streaming to your clients, which is the whole point of this, right? Cameras, very simple, an A7 IV with a 16-35, right? And we just have this running off of battery power because this is only gonna be an hour or two, right? So we know that the one full battery will last the whole time. You don't need memory cards because we're going right into OBS and we're streaming to YouTube, and we can also record it to OBS or to the hard drive in case of, an emergency, right? So we have that, which gives us a little flexibility to zoom, is the FX3 with the 70-200, so we can punch in and out on our people at the podium. Also, not the most ideal way to do this, but we can get the PowerPoint presentation with this as well. Ideally, we can just get an HDMI out from that computer into the switcher, and that will, put a much cleaner feed in there, but that computer is so old that they don't have an HDMI out, so we just do it like this, and it works. So, onto the microphones. They're not, I gotta ask my buddy Production Paul about this. These are dynamic microphones?
They're hypercardioid microphones.
Okay.
Super directional. Super
directional, right? So they need to talk right into this thing for it to sound good and for it to work. What you really want is a cardioid, right? Is a cardioid, like either like a gooseneck or a cardioid microphone. That's going to be the absolute best for a situation like this because it's going to pick up all the sound versus just what's going into the microphone. But anyway, all the microphones are here. They're running into the Snake, which I borrowed from a friend, an audio engineering friend. You can just run these XLRs right into the Zoom, but the Snake gives us extra reach that we need to be further away from the table. So these mics are going right into the Snake, and then the Snake is going into the Zoom. Today we're gonna try out something a little new where we put a wireless mic on that. We'll see if that works. But yeah, so the core of why I wanted to create this video and share with you guys what this process is like is because I never thought that something like this was possible, right? Oh, when you think of live streaming, it's complicated, there's lots of moving parts, which it is. And there are a lot of things that can go wrong, but you just have to have contingency plans in place. You have to have backups for backups for backups, right? We have backup microphones, we have backup cords. I have a backup Ethernet port, a backup Ethernet cord, backup HDMI cables. We have backup cameras and lenses. So really, there's contingency plans in place for everything. But if you're a video person and you want to expand your offerings into something like live streaming, this is an easy, cost-effective way to do it. And these jobs you can really charge anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000 for, depending upon the market, where you're at, how long you're going to be here. This is only about an hour. For us to come in, set up, it's an hour. The meeting is an hour, and then we break down for about an hour. So it's about 3 hours that you can bill for. All right, so that's gonna wrap this video up. If you guys have any questions about this setup, where I got anything, just drop a comment down below. I've had people email me, DM me on Instagram, I respond right away. I don't believe in gatekeeping. I believe that there's plenty of work for everyone to go around, and we only grow and evolve as we help each other. So subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.